Like the seasons of a year, every marriage goes through seasons. And when a marriage hits a winter season, the temperature becomes cold and the marriage comes to a standstill and there is very little growth. But what can be done about that during that season? Well, that's what we'll be talking about. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome to this edition of Living a Godly Marriage. I'm your host, Melvin Greene,
And I'm your co-host, Voncille Greene.
and on today's episode, we're going to be covering a major problem in a lot of marriages. And we're going to provide not just talk about the problem, but talk about a solution as well. This is the first of a two-part series. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me first say that Voncille and I recently completed a course, a marriage course at our church, First Baptist Church of Glenarden International, called Keeping It Fresh. And what that course was about is how how a couple needs to keep doing things to keep the love alive,
Yes, keep it alive.
to keep things fresh in your marriage. And as we completed that course and took some of the actions that were
Suggested.
suggested, it really took us from spring took us into spring from winter. And as I gave in the tease, it's inevitable that couples will have times that resemble a winter season in their marriage. So, Vancil, let's go ahead and get started and
Okay.
talk about that. And we'll start with why do we need to keep it fresh and have fun in marriage?
So, in the challenges and busyness of everyday married life, a couple can begin to feel like their marriage is stuck in a rut.
Yes, and I like to say a rut is a grave with the ends knocked out.
Emotionally, they're just spinning their wheels.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in that winter season, things are really cool between a couple. They may not be talking to each other, or there's
Cozy enough.
yeah, or there's a lot of conflict. And like it is in winter, it's just chilly
Yeah.
between the two of them. So what we're advocating is that couple needs to learn how to have what?
Fun.
Fun in their marriage. That's right. So unless the rut routine changes, romance and friendship will start to diminish and the feelings of love will start to fade.
I feel like singing. You lost
Go
that loving
ahead. You
feeling.
lost that loving feeling. That's true. That's true.
So when this happens, a couple stops connecting and instead starts rejecting and spending less time together with each other. Then, as the marriage becomes stale, they will slowly drift apart.
And that's a bad place for a marriage to be in,
Yes, because I
drifting apart. So, a way to overcome this situation is to rekindle love and joy in the marriage, just like it was while they were dating each other, and to keep it fresh by having fun. Hot fun in the summertime. A little salute to our Sly Stone who recently passed.
That's right. Yes.
So let's continue. Okay, so let's talk about what we did to prepare for this episode.
We actually took a marriage course at our church.
Yes, as we talked about, it was really almost life-changing.
Yeah, refreshing.
It was refreshing. Good
Yes.
word. We really enjoyed it. And what we sat down and did is we talked about what we've done throughout our marriage. And by the way,
While we were dating.
while we were dating, that's right, it started before we were dating, and while we have been married. In fact, next week we will celebrate our 14th wedding anniversary.
Get a gold star for remembering that, darling.
So we sat down and talked about what have we done to have fun in our marriage, and we made a list
A
of
list.
that.
Yes, we did.
And let me just say one thing that we've done. In fact, I started this when I was dating
You
Voncille.
were courting me.
Yes, I was courting you. I would say, Voncille, um, on Friday, we're going out and I want you to be ready at 7 o'clock. I'll pick you up at 7 o'clock. And Voncille will say, where are we going? I said, I'm not telling you.
And what should I wear?
Yes,
Is it a black
yes.
tie or casual or
That's right. I say where we're going is a surprise, but here's how you should dress.
right?
Business casual or really nice.
After five is black
Right,
tie.
after five is. And to this day, I still do this in our marriage.
We keep it fresh that way, don't we?
Keeping it fresh. And how do you feel when
I
I
love
surprise
it.
you?
I love it. It never gets old or
That's
stale.
true.
Yes.
That's true. It keeps it from good word. Good keeps the marriage from getting stale.
Mhm.
All right, or starting that winter season. So anyway, we sat down and talked about what we've done over the years to keep having fun in our marriage, and we just made a list.
So we researched online, and you all can do this as well. And we talked with other couples, some of our
Hmm.
friends, to find out what they do to keep it fresh in their marriage. And
And
you can do this too.
that's right. You probably know
So
some
recommend
people.
it highly.
Yeah, you probably know some people, and ask a couple, what do you do to have fun in your marriage? And it'll be interesting. They'll probably have some things that they do. Now, we got to remember, and this is one of the things we'll be talking about, different strokes for different
I'm
folks.
glad you said that.
So someone may give an idea, this is what we do to have fun. And you might say, I don't like that kind of food.
Hanging from the chandelier. So don't even ask.
Right. So we're talking about this is something that you can do. At least get some, ask people and get some ideas.
And this should be something you both agree to do
Right,
together.
right.
That's important.
Now, we also prayed and brainstormed fun activities a couple can do, and we've identified over 300 items,
We're
300
not
different
suggesting you do them.
activities. And we're not done. It seems like as we've been preparing, almost every day new ideas come to mind, or we do more research and find ideas. So, but having fun is the goal.
Yes.
It's the spark that rekindles the romantic
That
flame.
loving feeling.
Yes, that loving feeling.
So we put all the items into 10 categories.
And we'll be talking more about that later, what those identifying what those 10 categories are. We will also share our favorite items in each category. So we're not going to go over all 300. And yes, there will be a part two episode,
Yes.
but we are going to give you like our top 10 in each category.
And we'll also tell you where you can research to
Right,
get some
right.
ideas on how to keep it fresh in your marriage.
Yes, and there's one other thing we want you to do. Take a picture of our slides and discuss them as a couple. In fact, that'll be a good homework assignment
Yes.
to prepare for part two of this. But we encourage you, we're going to put up the categories, we're going to put up ideas, and just get your camera and take a picture of it and sit down as a couple and talk about it. Which of these ideas should we use to have fun in our marriage?
And you can also, if you would like, you could email us at livingagodlymarriage@gmail.com and we'll send you the list, correct?
Right, right. Okay, so how do we keep it fresh and have fun in our marriage?
So commit, first of all, make a commitment to have more fun as a couple.
Yeah, it has to be intentional,
Yes.
and both of you have to be committed to doing that.
And agree
Uh,
that you want to do that particular
right,
activity.
right. And you can even set a goal, when are you going to start and how much you're going to do. And we'll talk more about that. Um, be willing to try new activities and revisit old ones or hobbies you enjoyed in the past. Sometimes in marriage, you get uh, tied up at work or you have parental responsibilities, and the old habit that you may have enjoyed in high school or even sooner or in college, you
Hopefully
kind
not
of
in high school.
you kind of put it down and don't
Pick it up.
pick it up anymore. But for example, a musical instrument, it's possible some of you may have played the piano or played any kind of musical xylophone, which is a gift that Voncille got from me, and that brought a little fun in our marriage. I started learning to play hymns and
Still
songs.
amazes me sometimes, which I love.
That's right.
Yes.
I do that. But what are hobbies that you used to have, but now you feel you're so busy or you're just don't have the time because of kids or work or other responsibilities? Well, if you're going to keep it fresh and have fun, that's something you could go back to.
Mhm. So individually review the list. We told you that we research fun activities for couples to do. So review the list and
Hmm.
pick out your top 5 or top 10, and then you two come together and discuss your top 5 or top 10. And then you can combine the list together and decide what it is you both agree to do.
Right, right. And to give you an idea of how that can really work and help, when in the first year, maybe right after we got married, what Voncille and I did, uh, we said, okay, let's identify our top 10 places
To
to
visit,
travel to.
travel, yes.
So she had a list,
I
I
have.
had a list. We came together
Mhm.
and came up with a top 10 list. And 14 years later, I think we've been to like 8 of the top 10.
That's
We've
right.
worked through our list. So the same concept can work for you. Again, individually, do your top 5 activities and then come together and make a list of the top 10
And agree on what you
and
think.
agree on it.
Yes.
Also, you need to decide when are you going to start and schedule. Here's the key: schedule the fun activities on both of your calendars.
And make a commitment to actually do the activity.
Right.
That's
Decide when are you
important.
going to start and put it on the calendar. Schedule. It has to be scheduled. If you don't put it on the calendar, when calls come up, whether at work or friends or family, um, and you don't have it on your calendar, you might end up double booking.
Yeah, and then you'd be double booked.
And yeah, and then you have to cancel, and you know which one you're going to
That's
cancel.
right.
It's easier to cancel with your spouse. But we're being intentional with this. So when you put it on your calendar, you're going to stick with it.
I
Also,
wouldn't say it's going to be easier to cancel with the spouse, not with me, darling.
well, I'm always make you a priority, my dear. No, no. In fact, when and I have made that mistake, I would tell the person or say, I'm sorry, I have a commitment with my wife and I can't
Yeah,
break that.
that's
That's a
right.
priority to me.
Exactly. Thank you,
All right.
sweetheart. Okay. Also, take turns deciding what you're going to do. And
Yes. So when you put that list together,
and Mel loves to plan, and he usually takes the lead. I follow. But we do take turns deciding
Mhm.
what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, usually we really want to do the same things oftentimes,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
Yes.
that's true because we've learned through the years
Mhm.
what our favorite activities are.
Are.
But I think it's really important not to just have one person say, okay, we're going to do this, and then I
Mhm.
want to do this, I want to do this. No, you take turns. It's like if you like going to dinner to a restaurant, another thing we do is we take turns. Sometimes that's a challenge for us because we'll end up saying, where do you want to go? I don't know. Or I prefer that you pick the place, but
And so
so
if
again,
I'm sorry.
take turns.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Love Mexican food. My husband is not a big fan of it, but he does on occasion, not often, will
We'll go to a
cook.
Mexican restaurant and
I enjoy that.
I'll find something on that menu to like. Then we have to rush home. but
Okay.
it's important that you are a partnership. So
Yes.
one person shouldn't be deciding where you travel every year or what the activity is. It's up to both of you all as partners and as a team to decide. So take turns
Yes.
what you're going to do.
And don't be afraid to speak up, even though my husband is the head of our family. My input is important as well, right?
Oh, no question, no question. I may be the head, but she's the
The
neck
neck, the
that turns
twist.
that head. Okay, let's continue. Now, you can do more than one fun activity at a time. You just don't have to, you have a list and you say, oh no, let's just start this one, finish it, and
Mhm.
then start another one. No, you can do more than one at a time.
Mhm.
As you'll see when we go through the list, yeah, you can do more than one, and we've done that as well.
Yes, we have. So it's important also to find out the costs and schedule for continuing or training education courses.
Yeah.
And remember, it takes time to
Hmm.
become skilled in a particular area,
Yeah,
right?
that is so true.
Be patient with yourself.
A lot of local colleges have continuing education, non-credit courses. Sometimes they're on Saturdays. Sometimes it might be a two Thursdays from 6 to 9 or 7 to 10, and the class is over. No exams, no tests, no papers. They're non-credit courses. But as Voncille said, which is also important, it takes time to be skilled. So if I take a cooking class,
It take a lifetime.
don't expect me to come home and cook a meal like you do.
Yes,
Okay.
but you tried. I
I will
appreciate
practice. Again, we agreed that
it.
this is a
We should roll the
fun
dice.
activity. It'll become more fun as I cook, but it does take time to be skilled. So it's easy to decide, oh, yeah, I'm going to take this course. I'm going to learn to play pickleball. And boy, when I finish that class, we're going to be ready to play. Well, it might be a little bit harder than you think it is.
But
Okay.
you're good. He takes me to dinner. I love that.
Also, we're talking about courses, training courses
Mhm.
that you could take, but sometimes you might want to become certified in something. For example, we've talked about um, taking training to become a certified travel agent. But if you pick that kind of activity, find out if there are certification requirements, what they are, the process for completing them. For example, you may have to take a test, a written test, or an application test,
I think I
and the
just walk
total.
out in hives when you said took a test.
Yeah, and the total cost involved because it's not just signing up for the course. What about the books? What about the exam?
Mhm.
You got to look at the total cost. And of course, we talked about this earlier. Before you start building anything, you should
Count the cost.
count the cost, which is a biblical
Yes.
principle.
And by the way, I was actually Mel's student before I became his wife. It's like,
What
right?
was the name of that course? Do you
Servant leadership.
servant leadership?
Yes. I was
Okay.
his student. I was the teacher's pet.
Okay. All right.
All right. And also decide if the activity is just for you as a couple or if it's with the kids or grandkids or your extended family and friends.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's a
that's
good
what, yeah,
idea.
yeah.
We have July 4th coming up, and on the 5th, we're having a family gathering
And
here at the
we
home.
volunteered our home for this. I have a large family, but it's okay. We always have a
Yes.
great time.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
they
yeah.
bring lots of good food.
Right, and they leave a lot of food too. So we've decided July 5th to have the family over. And it's always a fun time seeing the kids play with each other and we get reacquainted with our relatives.
Yeah.
So that can be a fun activity for
It's,
you this summer
yeah.
or Labor Day.
And we are a games family on my side of the family. We love to play games. And so it's
Mhm.
always fun playing games with
And
them.
games is another activity. It's sort of a, a preview of coming attraction, whether it's card games or board games. But going back to the point, it's one thing if we play cards as a couple, which we
And we
do, and
do.
that's something we do to have fun. But hey, why not have a family spades tournament?
Oh, I love that
And
idea.
send out an email, a mass email to family members and say, hey, we're thinking of having a spades tournament.
Hmm.
Who would like to come? And again, that could be a great time. And by the way, you can have more than one game going on
That's
at a
true.
time.
Yes.
One could be in the kitchen table, another could be in the dining room table, somebody else can be in the basement. And you can get together, talk about it,
Right.
decide how that tournament's going
Yeah.
to work.
That would
But it could be a really fun gathering.
yes, it could.
Right,
Yes.
right. Now, also, another important point, we talked about cost. Be sure to include the cost of the activity in your budget. So you're saying you're going to take a course and you want to become certified, you find out what the costs are. Don't forget to put it in your budget.
Right.
This could be a new item, but it could be a very costly item if you don't budget for it.
Right.
And remember, we like to say a budget is simply a spending and a saving plan.
I believe it's in Prince George's. They have the SAGE courses for seniors.
Right, the SAGE courses for seniors. That's right.
Is there a cost for that?
Yeah, but the cost is
Minimum.
is minimum. In fact, and again, you can go online and look at Prince George's Community College SAGE program, seniors. I forgot what the acronym is for, but you can even take as many courses as you want in a semester. And a course could be 6 weeks, one night a week for 2 or 3 hours, but they allow you pay one fee, let's say $75, and you can take as a senior, you can take as many of those courses as you want.
Right.
And that's a great thing.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. So
And there's
that's
a lot of free things that you can do as a
yes,
senior.
yes,
But
that's
don't
right.
forget to check out those senior discounts. They really add up, and you can put that in your vacation fund or whatever you're going to do.
Right.
Yeah, take me out to dinner because I've saved a lot of money.
Right. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at categories of fun activities.
Okay.
Remember, we had over 300 items, but what we did was we combined different categories and finally ended up with 10. So let's take a look at that. The first one is,
Going to a sporting event and or participating in a sport.
yeah.
I love to play volleyball or table tennis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
play volleyball
Or you
that
could
much.
even, or you can, going to a sport event. Of course, we have a lot of, the Nationals, the Orioles, later the Commanders. I
Mhm.
mean, that's why we said put it in your budget, prices. It's not just the ticket. It could be parking. It could be
Refreshments.
refreshments or what you eat
Yeah.
there. So that's one. The second one is restaurants and food. That's a category. We'll be talking about that.
That's my favorite.
All right.
Or going to local places for entertainment.
Yeah. Now
It,
we're in the DMV area.
there, and for seniors again, there are a lot of noontime
Hmm.
activities, concerts, just for seniors
Yeah.
that are very reasonable.
Yeah, that's so true. In fact, about a month ago, I asked Voncille, what museums do you want to go to this summer? And there are a ton of
I,
museums.
I love that.
And we've been to the Bible Museum several times
Yes,
and
we
we
have.
may go again.
Would love to see
But there are a
that.
lot, Smithsonian, and we'll talk more about that, but going to local places. Also traveling out of town. One thing, for example, I was born and raised in Baltimore, but one time I took Voncille up to my neighborhood that I grew up in and just reminisced and talked about it. And that was a fun thing to do. Now, Voncille, we also went to her hometown in
Newcomerstown.
Newcomerstown, Ohio.
Yeah, he went to my high school
I went to her
when I
high
where
school.
I used to work there.
Yeah, and that
Yes,
was fun.
yes,
We
it
we
was. It
enjoyed
was
that. We
a great
enjoyed
time.
that.
Yeah,
Another category is doing things at home.
I
And
love to have a picnic
yeah, yeah, you got the
at
two
home,
of you can
just the
have
two of us.
a
Yes,
picnic.
yes.
So a lot of things you can do at home. Continuing,
Also, volunteering.
yeah, there are a
There's,
lot of
there's
organizations you could
there's
volunteer.
one thing I used to love to do. I don't do it much anymore. I used to register people to vote,
Mm,
first time voters, for
great.
those who had been incarcerated and had not had their voting rights restored. I would help them
Yeah,
get
register to vote.
registered to
Okay.
vote and get their rights to vote restored. So that's
Mm-hmm.
very important. So yes,
Great. So,
do that.
yeah, you have an interest, organization you want to volunteer, or even the PTA at your children's school.
That's important.
Another category is,
Development and training courses.
yeah, we've talked about
Yeah,
that
a
as
little.
well. So let's go on. And there are activities you can do to grow spiritually.
Which is the
Uh,
most important one.
Yeah, like what Von Sil said, we just finished taking a class to improve our skills as husband and wife, to better our marriage.
Mhm.
Another is,
Music related events. My husband loves music. I think that's how I got you to propose to me. As a matter of fact.
making playlists. We talked about a musical instrument. So
Yes.
we'll be covering different activities in that area. And the last category is personal and miscellaneous.
For example,
Miscellaneous could be something like I want to play with my model trains. You know, I do have Lionel trains
yes, he
down
does. He
in the
does.
basement that I have kept since I was growing up. And
Growing up
every once in a while, I get the urge to put those Lionel trains
to
up.
continue growing
So,
up.
so again, that's something that could be, that's a category, personal. So those are our categories of fun activities. And we hope you took a picture of those because you have homework assignment to do. We want you as a couple to start brainstorming things that you can do, fun activities under each of those categories.
And you can research them. You'll be surprised what you can find online. You go
Yeah.
online and research fun activities for couples or whatever,
Hmm.
and families. You can find lots of information online. So
Yeah.
recommend that
And
highly.
you can also email us with your fun activities. And you can email us at,
Living a godly marriage at gmail.com.
and we look forward to hearing from you.
God bless you.
So, as we always like to do, we
Yes.
conclude by saying, living a godly marriage is the best marriage, especially if you're having fun.
Yes.
We'll see you next
God
time.
bless you all.
And have fun.
Yes, lots of fun.
A lot of things feel out of control these days, so it's time you pick your battles. Skip playing referee in the morning. Skip laundry this week. Skip game limits today. Skip cooking tonight. New realities require new routines, and it's okay to skip some of the old ones. But don't skip your preteens' well visits and recommended and catch-up vaccinations.